Welcome to Coffee and a Conversation hosted by CJ Abernathy for South Dakota District 23 Senate 2020. A father, an activist, a Marine Corps combat veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, Purple Heart recipient with a bachelor's degree in information technology software engineering. CJ is the executive producer for the Adam vs. the Man podcast with Adam Kokesh, and the CEO of Internet Warlords, the War for the Internet, as well as a former 2018 South Dakota Libertarian gubernatorial candidate, and a 2020 South Dakota delegate to the Libertarian National Convention. If you would like to join this broadcast, click the link in the description. Coffee and a Conversation starts now. Have a great day or don't. The choice is always yours.
I'm corny, all my songs are super boring. I'm like Macklemore on crack if he smoked it till he was 40. I'm a racist, I'm a sexist, I try too hard to be cool. I'm a clickbait rapper, I pay for all of my views. I got white privilege leaking out my eyes when I cry. And I'm always shedding tears, cause it's hard to be white. My girlfriend writes my raps, I hope I never get dumped again. I hate the libtard, so I must be Republican. All my Gucci is fake, I got this Louis on sale. I'm a snitch like Tekashi, so I will never see jail. I look just like the mumble rappers that everyone hates. I braid my hair like a girl and put tattoos on my face. Yeah. Why do you keep talking about me? Everything's been said. All that hating isn't healthy. You might end up dead. Call me a loser, say I suck. Tell me I'm ugly, well so what? You're so stupid, are you drunk? Say it to my face and I'll kick your butt. You call me a loser, say I suck. Tell me I'm ugly, well so what? You're so stupid, are you drunk? Say it to my face and I'll kick your butt. Kick your butt. Okay, I'm corny and whack, I'm horrible trash. I'm the worst rapper alive and I'm ignoring the facts. I try too hard to be edgy, my bars are garbage, you win. I'm 100% pure grade A Colombian cringe. And if rap was a game you could play with your friends, I'd be the SoundCloud rapper boss you fought at the end. Look, I'm so thirsty for clout that I'd slap my mama for fame. I'm 30, but I look like I'm your grandfather's age. I'm like Joyner Lucas Corny had a baby with Logic. The doctor dropped it on his head and said, that's a Tom McDonald. I smell like MGK just ate a burger and farted. And my face tattoos look like I fell asleep at a party, retarded. Why do you keep talking about me? Everything's been said. All that hating isn't healthy. You might end up dead. Call me a loser, say I suck. Tell me I'm ugly, well so what? You're so stupid, are you drunk? Say it to my face and I'll kick your butt. You call me a loser, say I suck. Tell me I'm ugly, well so what? You're so stupid, are you drunk? Say it to my face and I'll kick your butt. Kick your butt. Retard loser, you're so gay. You're so corny, you're so lame. You're unhappy, so you call me names. Been the same since 7th grade. Angry, sad, and full of hate. Take it out on me cause you're in pain. They call me a loser, say I suck. Tell me I'm ugly, well so what? You're so stupid, are you drunk? Say it to my face and I'll kick your butt. They call me a loser, say I suck. Tell me I'm ugly, well so what? You're so stupid, are you drunk? Say it to my face and I'll kick your butt. They call me a loser, say I suck. Tell me I'm ugly, well so what? You're so stupid, are you drunk? Say it to my face and I'll kick your butt. They call me a loser, say I suck. Tell me I'm ugly, well so what? You're so stupid, are you drunk? Say it to my face and I'll kick your butt. Kick your butt.
Oh man. Good morning, everybody. It's your boy CJ, the Internet Warlord. Man, that was corny. I had to play it. I had to play that Tom McDonald song. Of course I did, because, you know, that's one of his best songs ever put out. So, oh, man, it's been a while. It's been a while since we've been here. Oh, yeah, that song. I tell you what, I'll be blasting that one all day. I hope it's on the new CDs that hopefully will be coming in soon. I bought 2 of them, you know, bought both of his new albums. So hopefully those will be here soon enough. All right. Well, what's up, everybody? It's your boy CJ, the Internet Warlord, coming to you live and loud from the great state of North Dakota. You know, North Dakota, it's a state just south of North Dakota, north of Nebraska. That Dakota, the state formerly known as South Dakota until the Queen of Meth, Governor Kristi Noem, declared by proclamation that we're all on meth. And man, again, those were simpler times that we lived in. I would much rather go back to, pre-COVID South Dakota, pre-meth Dakota. Those were different times. And good morning, Mr. Jewell. I see you there, sir. What's the occasion for being live on a Saturday? Well, see, here's the thing, Mr. Jewell. During quarantine season, I bust my ass more than most people. And I don't have the opportunity to go live every day. So I figured I'd play catch up and give people an opportunity to join if they want. If not, then go about your business, So that's why I'm live on a Saturday, having coffee and a conversation. I got this really cool card in the mail. It says I'm a bronze member libertarian of the National Committee there. Yeah, I like that. Although they got the date that I joined wrong. That might be the date that I got the bronze package. So I'm going to have to message the LNC and say, hey, Joe, Bishop Henchman, what's up with the clerical errors, bro? It's the end of the world. First world problem. Yeah, but if you haven't gone out and checked out Tom McDonald, if you have no idea who that was at the beginning of this, I highly recommend you go check out his catalog. The guy is, as I've said before, the best rapper on the planet. Everybody else needs to take a seat. So, but this is partly why I'm not in the cornfield right now. We had rain yesterday, and as you can see here in North Dakota, here's Eureka. Oh, I guess I should make it a little bit bigger for you guys. Here's Eureka. I'm hoping that we miss all this because we're working right down in here, and definitely don't want any of this coming our way. It looks like it's swirling, and I don't really like that. But if you zoom out, and you go over here, look at this. Oh, God, I'm just glad we didn't get that today. That would be just a bad week. That would slow us down. But yeah, good old North Dakota here. Let's see if I can zoom her in just a little bit more. Get all of North Dakota up in here. Yeah, good times though. As long as this area stays clear today, I should be pretty good to go. Yeah, just a terrible day. Attaboy, God bless the farming community and those who helped the gears turn. Yeah, I see. I'm just in harvest season, man. Like, if you think about it, like when it comes to corn season, I'm just in harvest. Like, I just harvest. The guys I work with, they plant, they help people, they working on tractors. They're grinding every day. I just do the grind during harvest season, which is enough for me. But it got me thinking. I'm looking at all these riots and these protests and this bullshit that's going on in the world. And I think to myself, 98% of the people that are protesting in the streets don't or never would go bust their ass in a cornfield. Go get on a harvest team and start making that harvest money. No, most people wouldn't have the ambition to go do something like that. Because I'll tell you what, it does not take much to get your CDL and get on a harvest team and start harvesting. So I think about it like, you know where it's the safest place in America? The cornfields of South Dakota. That is the safest place you could possibly be. I mean, there is no BLM and Antifa showing up here, but if you want to, we're in this area, you know, like you can show up here and we'll show you something called hard work. It keeps people away. Good morning, Mr. Liberty. I see you there, sir. I'm just back for a little bit, you know. I got the day off. Like I said, yesterday we had some rain. I'm just watching the weather right now, hoping all of this stays in West River with Colin over there. I don't want to have to be out of work for too long from weather, man. This is my time to make some money. So like I said, I'm kind of just watching this radar. Keep it West River, man. It looks like Sioux River region's getting some rain this morning. Ooh, it just pops up out of nowhere. But yeah, we had enough to stop us yesterday. So, but hey, this is a join if you like broadcast. There's a link in the description if anybody'd like to join. You got to respect those in farming. You could just say you could just you're as 24/7, 365, and Mother Nature could just decide to mess up your whole year up. I kind of get what you're saying there, Adam. Last year was a really wet season. Last year we were getting pulled out left and right. This year we're, trying to get ahead of schedule so we don't have to go into the cold so much. But yesterday, Freedom Beard came on my Smoke 'em If You Got 'em. I was just bullshitting about not getting a sandwich, first world problem. Again, patriotbeef.com. Check them out. I'm going to make an order today before I go to work. He said you have 0 viewers. Like, yeah, who the fuck cares what I have to say? I mean, put it to you this way. Let me tell you this. Okay. You could bust your ass 24/7, 365, and Mother Nature could decide just to mess up your whole year. Absolutely. Farming is a very interesting life choice to make, especially if you're somebody who was born into it and, it's the only life you know. But let me explain to you why nobody gives a fuck what CJ thinks on a Saturday morning. We've got deadly wildfires raging in the western states, okay? Why does anybody in the western states go, I'm going to tune into Coffee and a Conversation and wonder what the fuck CJ has to say today? I wouldn't. When there's 500,000 people fleeing, do you think they want to turn on a video of me just sitting here going, well, you guys, you could always just come out here in the cornfields? But, I feel for these guys. That's if half of Meth Dakota was lit on fire, not only would we all be high, but, it'd be pretty tragic, But again, California will fall off into the ocean someday, and we'll all have to come to grips with their inevitable deaths then. So, and destruction and property damage. And so I kind of just already assume that if you live in California, you're putting yourself out there as this expendable person who might float off into the ocean someday. And, it's going to be tragic, So I don't wish that upon anybody. Even in the liberal commie state of California. But, nobody gives a fuck. So, when all the other news headlines are like Trump reign plays despite Axl Rose's disdain, like, come on, man, the news is still the same. I've been gone for what, 10 days, 12 days, I don't know how long it's been at this point. I'm losing track. You know, but yeah, news is still the same. Still tropical depressions, Afghan peace talks in Qatar. Oh, man. It doesn't always feel like we're just one dumb moment away from the next stupid thing in the world to happen, doesn't it? It feels like, well, at this point, what's going to really surprise us? You know, use the comments. If you're watching, use the comments and tell me, what's your big prediction for the end of 2020? Because I have a few. I have a few big predictions. But I'll get into that in a moment. You know, because again, it's just stupid. We're in the dumbest year in American history with the most important election of our lifetime. Oh God. So I've been doing a lot of listening to broadcasts. I even caught a past Dick Liberty broadcast that I just kind of listened into and just vibed with while I was out there in the cornfields. I just found, you know, I just catch up. You know, I've been putting in a lot of time behind the wheel that, you know, morning. So, yeah, I mean, I've been going back in time, you know, listening to people. I did admittedly catch a few Joe Rogan podcasts just to check out the new studio and hear where his thoughts were on moving the #1 podcast in the world to Spotify. And I thought to myself, man, that's a guy that just busts his ass and gets shit done. And now he's worth like, he's got more money than he knows what to do with. He's telling people, oh, I'll buy you a house, bro. Come live on my land. I'll buy a ranch. Living that dream, man. Meanwhile, there's children starving in Ethiopia. Should he feel guilty? Fuck no. I mean, the communists want him to feel guilty because they want to redistribute his wealth. You know, the socialists want the same thing. Capitalists are like, fuck yeah, make that money. But you know, we're living in the most polarized times in the world. We got Americans that are starving to death in the streets and people that have more money than they know what to do with, you know? I mean, it's really insane. And meanwhile, there's the people like me that just, hey, I'm just trying to make as much as I can while I can, you know? I don't have $100 million Spotify deal. Adam versus the Man is being censored to a whole new fucking level. I say this with all sincerity. Adam Kokesh is, if not the most, I would say within the top 5 most censored people in the world. And it's not him personally. He's not a bad man. It's the message that he's saying. You got to think about it. Like, you know, Adam, okay, I invited him on here, but let's face it, Gardenia time, Adam's not going to be able to make it this morning. I highly doubt that. And I didn't send him any link or nothing, but, you know, let's face it. As the executive producer of the show, and Jim's doing a great job. I mean, oh my gosh, I miss it though. I miss sitting at this command center and pushing the buttons that makes the content and knowing that we're vibing and flowing. But Jim is doing a great job picking it up. You know, I can't say enough good about Jim Freedom and his stepping up. But I miss it, and I know that I'm saying he's the most censored man in the world, and it's kind of biased, but he makes the point pretty well that I give to him that, you know, there's other channels on YouTube. They've got like about the same amount of viewership, right? And they have subscriber counts about the same. Or not viewership, I should say subscriber counts that are the same. The viewership, though, is different. They have 250,000 subscribers, and they think censorship is when only 125,000 people see their video. Like, half of my audience didn't see my video. But Adam's sitting there with 250,000 subscribers, and some of his videos get 200, 300 views. I've had coffees and conversations here that get more views than Adam, who has 250,000 subs on YouTube. And again, this is not some like world-changing podcast. This is just me broadcasting from my computer. So, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, if we would have been getting paid at a rate that is not clearly, it went from the price of 1,000 views here to 8 cents, 7 cents per 1,000 views. And I can prove all of this stuff in the data. The truth is in the numbers, and I'm a guy that knows how to read them, translate it, and say, yeah, there's something else going on here. And I've faced censorship as a guy who's running for political office here, as a guy who ran for governor in 2018. I was put in Facebook jail, YouTube. I was put in these places because it's not me. It's not me. I bust my ass. I work sun up to sundown. I'm dedicated to what I do. I admit that I don't know everything, but what I do know, I defend, and I have an opinion on. And if I don't know something, I'm going to take the time to learn it before I formulate an opinion. Or at least get somewhat of an idea of what I'm trying to speak about before making an opinion. And I'll tell you what, it's just a whole different ballgame, man. It's not right. I'm not saying that it's good, but let's just be real. It's the message. It's the content. It's the. If you go back through my catalog of content on the internet, you see that I'm telling you and learning with you how the crimes of government are committed and who commits them and how it's done, and in a language that's layman and in specific and diligent and precise and with an intention to be challenged, to challenge me. And where I'm met with, personal attack, I know I'm over target, but it's like you have to be hated in order to speak the truth, really, in all honesty, by somebody who hates the truth, at least the truth as you see it. And I think that's what's dividing America, I think that when we look at headlines like this and go, will Democrats accept election results if they think Trump cheated to win? And go, well, we could easily just put Biden in there. Will Republicans accept election results if they think Biden cheated to win? And we can trigger people, and we can do all this stupid bullshit when it comes to news, when it comes to messaging. The mainstream is bought and paid for. I mean, who in America looks at Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, all these alphabets and go, that's credible, CJ? And who doesn't? I mean, honestly, if you don't think the mainstream media has an agenda, what is going on with you? Another reason why people, don't give a fuck what I have to say on a Saturday. Just globally, around the world. I mean, you look at the headline like this: at least 50 killed and collapsed in a gold mine in East Congo. I mean, honestly, do you think that anybody from the East Congo gives a fuck about CJ Abernathy right now and his South Dakota run for Senate? No, they don't. And it's called apathy. I mean, the real question is do I care about 50 people killed in the East Congo mining gold for most likely profiteers? And, I mean, it's just, there's so much shit in the world, man. And instead of, dialogue, we get censorship. And that's where I'm trying to get at, is that, if I have 1,000 friends on Facebook, if I have 500 subscribers on YouTube, if I have people that click that and go, okay, I want to see CJ's content, whether it's live or not, it's relevant to me. While I appreciate you watching live, you look at the numbers and go, it doesn't make any sense. It's just, it is what it is. It's a world we live in. I don't live and die by the numbers on my screen. I don't live and die by the content that I create. I just live and die in life. I'm going to be the same me regardless. I mean, how many people are watching? I put this out because, hey, it's a catch up. If you want to join, you know where the link is. Yeah. I just, like I said, I look at this shit and I just go, there's no way. I mean, since the last time we talked, Trump gets a Nobel Peace Prize. Should end after Trump was nominated twice. The Atlantic is saying the Nobel Peace Prize should be ended. I mean, again, Donald Trump is to peace as yeah, I don't know. Oh God, how do I get into Trumpophiles and pedocrats? I am so tired of the two-party duopoly stupidity. I really am. I think a lot of people are. Whether you're Team Trump or Team Biden, it's irrelevant to me. They're both the same. People are really stupid, unfortunately. And we do live in a stupid world where your vote of voting for either of these two idiots is a condoning vote of what they do to each other and what they do to this country. And that's where it blows my mind. It's like they both take the moral high ground and say, oh, he's bad, our guy's good. No, he's bad, our guy's good. And I just go, you're both fucking idiots. Oh, God. Oh, you're both stupid. And I don't even know how to really handle it because I have, okay, put it to you this way. We've got some customers that kind of make their politic a little known. I had one conversation who said, if Trump doesn't win, the country's going to belong to China. And I can't, as an employee working for a guy who's giving me his politic go, you're retarded, dude. You are just retarded. Of course, I say, that's your opinion. All right. Well, who are you voting for? I'm voting for Jo Jorgensen. She's the therapist in the race, not the rapist in the race. And I didn't say the last part, but again, I just said I'm voting for Jo Jorgensen. And at this point, your vote for either the Republican wing of the Socialist Party of America or the Democrats, the left wing of the Socialist Party of America, is actually one vote. It's voting for the same thing. It's not voting to stop rioting, stop the police state, stop the drug wars, stop the endless perpetual wars that are still happening. Your vote represents a bigger vote. They don't care which side of the fence you're on. They could care less. I mean, each wing would love you to be on their team. Each wing would love for you to blindly follow the fucking leader of the party that they prop up. I mean, put it to you this way. I've met Dr. Jo Jorgensen on 2 occasions at the same event, and a great woman. But what I know is a universal truth. She's a libertarian. If I have a problem with Dr. Jo Jorgensen, the next convention, assuming she shows up and participates within our party, is accountable to us in the party. She's with us in the party. She is a part of our party, regardless of what the duopoly narrative thinkers say about our party. Oh, Republicans libertarians are just this or they're just that. It's not that. It's more complex than that, because we're looking at it from a completely different perspective. We're looking at it from the perspective of our party is what our party says it is. If you are a Trumpophile or a pedocrat, you don't get to tell us what our party is. You're ignorant of what our party is. You're curious to what our party is. We have a lot of little L libertarians out there that are actually little R and little D Republicans and Democrats. They have commitment issues. You don't get to tell us what our party is or what our candidate represents. I would vote for Joe, but she, insert it retarded duopoly think line there. This is what Dr. Jorgensen's vote represents. It's your vote for Trump or Biden is one vote, a condoning vote for them to do this to each other, and then our country, what happens as a result of this over here is your condoning vote. A vote for Dr. Jorgensen is a vote from everybody pulling back and saying, no. You don't get to just duke it out over here and then elbow bump each other and then think that we're not going to catch on to this shit. It's a vote that pulls that back, that consent vote, away from saying, you don't get to keep doing this. You're the same party. You're just the red and blue brand of that party. Just like we have Mises and pragmatics. We have radicals and progressives. And we have these even within a microcosm of our own party. But what unites us are platforms. This is why you heard Trump saying Biden's platform is a Joe Biden, AOC, Bernie Sanders mix of destroying America. I argue that both parties' platforms, both the Trumpophiles and pedocrats, have the same platform. You know what's really stupid? When a Trumpophile goes to a Trump rally and sits there and hears Donald Trump say, without me, your Second Amendment would be nothing. You would have lost it. I'm going to protect it. But how quickly they are cognitively dissonant to the truth of what he's actually doing. Red flag laws are real, folks. I like taking guns first and then going to court to get the due process, because due process is inconvenient to us taking your rights. That is a man that does not fundamentally understand the Fourth Amendment, the Second Amendment, and I can't understand how. Well, I can, because you're retarded, because you have no concept of accountability to truth in messaging. Libertarians are held more accountable for every syllable of every word that we say by Republicans, by Trumpophiles and pedocrats than they hold for themselves. It's insane. right now there's a paid hit piece blog writer here in Meth, Dakota that hasn't wrote about me in a minute. I'm sure that Fat Pat will get to me at some point. And write a microcosm of out of context bullshit statements that I've said over the internet. I just find it insanely troubling that this is what people would call journalism, that this is what people would call the truth in politics, that hit pieces like this are what makes our party what it is. When clearly, Kristi Noem, for example, the queen of meth, can say she's not going to live in the governor's mansion one day, and again, I could, if I had more time, I could pull that tape. I'm not going to live there. No, we're going to just travel back and forth from our home, and then to Kristi Noem's moving in and wants a fence. Whoa. Now it's Kristi Noem spends almost $500,000 on a fence to go around the governor's mansion. It blows my mind how people can lie, and just, it blows my mind that we allow it to happen. We take sides on the, well, if I don't vote for this pedophile's going to win. The only candidate I would trust with my children is Jo Jorgensen. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I asked somebody, and I will keep your name anonymous, I asked just generally out to the world, would you rather have your child, your 15-year-old daughter, groped and sniffed by Joe Biden or Donald Trump? And even through that, their answer was still Trump. When Donald Trump can literally go on a night show and say, oh, I'd walk into these rooms with women, gorgeous women, some of them younger. Yeah, those younger ones you're talking about were 15 years old. And then as a dad of girls, I go, wait, what? Hold up. Because I put it to you this way. If I found out that my daughter was in a Miss Teen USA pageant and some pervy old billionaire dude is walking into the dressing room while they're changing and nude, that pervy old dude, billionaire, wouldn't be alive to become president of the United States. But yet all these Trumpophiles are like, they're hunting down the child sex trafficking ring while ignoring the truth right in front of them. Donald Trump is controlled by the deep state. You're an idiot if you don't think that. You are straight up an idiot. If you don't think that Donald Trump didn't get brought into a room that said, hey, we've got all this incriminating information on you. We will murder you and make it look like something else in the history, in the annals of history. We're going to make your death look worse than JFK's. If you don't play ball to the cabal, if you think he's really that outsider, then no, it's just, you need a good cop, bad cop. You need that duopoly, that polarizing left and right, the riots and chaos, law and order. And you fell for it. And you're too embarrassed to admit you're falling for it. That when it comes down to it, in 150, 200 years from now, when we're all dead and gone and the only thing left is just some video remnants of us talking in our coffee mugs and our conversation videos, and whether they were viral or not at the time, who knows? Maybe they're viral 500 years from now when they're trying to piece together how the fuck this country collapsed and how the dollar collapsed and how the United States of America used to exist. Post-apocalyptic world, you know? Who knows? Who knows? But your vote for Trump or Biden and that fear vote of, well, if I don't vote for this pedophile is going to win. It only goes so far. I don't look at somebody that's like, for example, Adam interviewed a guy that made the Loose Change documentary yesterday. Great interview. 9/11 was an inside job. I still have family that are like, remember 9/11 and putting up the graphics like, we remember, where were you when the world stopped turning? And I keep going, knowing in 10th grade that the government just mass murdered people to put us into endless perpetual war on terrorism. It blows my mind how stupid and forgetful we are as Americans. We want to be a proud country. We want to be a country that the world looks at and goes free. And the whole if you don't love it, leave it is the argument of the brain dead. We need a bingo card sheet of Trumpophile talking points that are just so stupid that we can play bingo with these people. We need to find ways that as libertarians we can mentally get through this election. Will Jo Jorgensen win? Doubtful. Do I want her to win? More than anything. And my brother admittedly says, oh, if she'd fall to the corruption too. Man, brother, I've met her twice. In 2022, I can take you right to her face and say, here's Jo Jorgensen, the one you think is all corrupt and this, that, and the other. So go talk with her and tell her how corrupt she is. You're not going to, because you're not stepping out of this world. You're looking at what this world is, and you're looking at the blue check marks and going, well, this is what this popular guy is who's got 4,000 people watching him right now says. When really the numbers are all manufactured, controlled, and censored. I mean, how can the Republican Party, the Trumpophile Party, go and say, "Oh, internet censorship," and yet they look at the talking points of their most popular people and go, "We'll regurgitate that." That's censorship. You're not getting your own opinion. You're just waiting for the guy to regurgitate your thought, your argument. And it's dumb. I don't deal in those worlds. I still listen to some Trumpophiles who have I listen to some Trumpophiles who say that they lean libertarian. There are some hardcore Trumpophiles that I don't listen to. These are the ones that'll get on their knees in public and start blowing the president just for an attaboy. I can't deal with that. I also, listen, I really want this to be into consideration too, and I just want it for the record. Trump is a part of the cabal. Trump is a part of the deep state. Trump is playing a trick on you. This is all media delusion. You're falling for it. And I want that to be on the record, that no matter what, until the day I die, I can tell you, I called it. Trump is in on the bullshit. And you want to know how I know? It's the comment right here with Mr. Liberty. Who's hiding from Biden and who's blowing the Trump Pence? If you don't know where to go, try Joe. Do you remember the elbow bump heard around the world? How do I do this? I could probably go like this and go Trump, Biden, Pence, elbow bump. And it blows my mind how we can sit here and see shit like this and go, yeah, no, they're in on this together. They're in on this together.
Hey guys, we're actually gonna follow
By the way, the mask thing, fucking, I can't even begin to tell you how dumb this world really is. Oh, I thought this was the elbow bump heard around the world. I guess this isn't the elbow bump heard around the world. Why is this shit going off? Oh, I hit snooze. Where's the elbow bump heard around the world? I know somebody had to have got it on video. Somebody. Yeah. I mean, again, yeah. How do you see this and not know that they're not in on it together? Look up the shadow influencer, the history of the National Prayer Breakfast. I've actually seen some documentaries on the hidden politics that pull the strings and do all this, that, and the other. I've heard of the shadow influencer before, yes, in my travels. But you look at something like this, Mr. Liberty. And again, this is, I'm not saying Chuck Schumer and Michael Bloomberg and, I mean, all these people that are clearly, they're not rioting. These are two people that are admittedly just a part of the same system. It's like the barking dogs on chains, like they're chained up, and then you let them go, and then it's start sniffing each other's butts. Schumer is a douche waffle, for sure. Yeah. I would even go as far as to say that after seeing all this, that Mike Pence is a douche waffle. They're all douche waffles. And the only one that's being fooled is you. Biden is a pedo addict. For sure. And again, there's a reason why I'm saying Trumpophiles and pedocrats. I'm saying it because it's true. But again, I look at this and I go, they're in on it together. There is something, oh, they were just being cordial, CJ. Oh, really? Oh, really? You know what's really bad in this world? I can hear the Trumpophile argument as I'm saying the truth in real time. I can hear as I go, Trump and Biden and Pence and all of these people are in it together. And I can hear, and like it's almost like an intuition, a weird sound that I hear. I can hear Trumpophiles and pedocrats just as if they're right there, and they're dumb arguments that they make. And we take instances like Kenosha, and we take all these big events that happen that the media blows up in our feeds, and we get divided along our political lines where we're like, no, we're rooting for this outcome because it's good for our narrative. Take a look, pedocrats. Take a look, Trumpophiles. They're in it together. You're stupid. And you know what the thing is this is the truth. They look at something like this and they go, oh, CJ, you only have 3 viewers, so your message is irrelevant because you don't have a blue check mark and you don't have this. And they'll view shame you because it's easier for you to go, CJ, you're discredited because you're not pitching and regurgitating our narratives, than it is for them to sit back and go, well, maybe there is some truth to what he's saying. You know, maybe there's maybe he doesn't really give a fuck about views. Like, did you ever think of that? Like, when I sat down this morning, Did you think that I went into this going, I hope I have 1 million views today? You know, I didn't. I went into this going, the content of my message is more important than the amount of views that it gets. Views does not equal right or wrong. It's just a way for people that want to dismiss you. They've been trained to say, hey, he's easily dismissed because look at his view count. It's a very dangerous world to live in, folks. I'll put it to you this way, though. The people that I can reach on this phone right here, I could at any point be in contact with people that have way more views than me. And if I called 10 of them a day, if I called 10 of these people that have a reach that's way beyond what little coffee and a conversation gets, my reach is far greater than what's watching live. I've never said, listen, you don't have to tune in to my live broadcast. I'm going to say the same thing regardless of how many people are watching. If you do, you can interact like Mr. Liberty here and say, I agree with you, CJ. We are programmed to believe in the false engineered hope. We declared a war on an emotion, that emotion being terror, so that we could invade countries and never have to end the war. Thank you for that comment. It's the truth. 9/11 was an inside job. Where's your proof, CJ? It hurts my soul. It's like having to start over and be like, okay, hold up a minute. I say something like hashtag 9/11 is an inside job. I just say 9/11 is an inside job. And your response back to me is, how so? Wait, so you're telling me 19 years later, and 2 plus endless wars, and perpetual war since the day it started, run by people like these two fucksticks that all benefit from it now. And you go, you're telling me 19 years later, you still think the official government narrative, the government that is known throughout history to have lied, cheated, murdered, raped, pillaged, destroyed your fundamental rights, liberties, and interests, your pursuits of happiness, taxed you beyond all measure, destroyed your dollar, took away your savings, have programs like qualified immunity, absolute immunity for judges and law enforcement officers. They separated the master class from the slave class. And I can promise you, I know which one I'm in. I don't have somebody coming to me going, hey, CJ, here's $1 million to preach our narrative. No, I have a fucking slave class life. Go out into the fucking field and work your day's labor, and hopefully it's an honest day's work. And, you know, it's not a multi-million-dollar contract with Spotify, but it's sure a good day. Don't question your government. Don't question science. When did we become the world's foregone experts of don't question science and believe your fucking government? When? When did America make the shift from fuck you, I'm free, and if you tell me I'm not, I got a gun, and if you try to come and stop me from being free, I'm gonna shoot you? When did we go from that America to better get in line, put on the fucking mask, shake the fucking hands of those that oppress you? Who the fuck? When? Mr. Liberty, again, you could start with over the with the over 8,300 emails and texts sent to select individuals telling them to stay home from work the night prior to the day the towers fell. Yeah. When technology crept in and made us lazy and incompetent. Well, see, Mr. Liberty, that's the thing, though. I'm not lazy nor incompetent. I bust my ass. I work hard. And technology has helped me take that to a better level. It's helped you take that to a better level, to reach more people, to be heard by those that want to hear you. I don't hold a gun to you and say, hey, you got to listen to what I got to say today. I just say simply, hey, if you can tune in live, sweet. Let me know. Leave a comment. Share it. Participate. There's a link somewhere. Join. You know, I'm just trying to tell everybody, hey, when did this change happen? I don't even know if it was technology necessarily. I mean, we went from being a patriot meant serving your country, protecting your community, to now being a patriot means how well you can deep throat the schlong of the president of the United States. Oh, by the way, Kristi Noem is back to selling access to the president of the United States. Go figure. Why can I say those words? Show empirical truth through evidence that is tangible by her actions. If I told you, all right, the Kristi Noem's about to commit another felony again, things that would obviously throw any one of us in jail if we did it, but she's about to do that again, and then she does it, and then I tell you, she did that thing again where she's selling access to the president of the United States, and you know how y'all are like, that's a bad thing. She's still doing it. That was a comment for the general population. I agree. We have made technology work for us, not the other way around. I absolutely. I didn't think you would think anything else. We have to evolve with it. There's good and bad in it. I can tell you about Uyghur slaves in China. I can tell you about the NBA. I can tell you about this, that, and the other. Let me tell you. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm still waiting on a text message from a man to tell me if the weather's good enough to go haul a load of corn today so I can go bust my ass out there. If we didn't have that technology, you know, so there's pros and cons to it. Oh, this coffee getting through to me today. It feels like we're headed for a lunar radical. How about let's just say dictatorship, Dick. Can I just say dictatorship? We're headed for a dictatorship. I can't do big words today. Not enough coffee in the world. But it blows my mind. I've tried to. And listen, I can hear, like I've said, my inner Larry Sharp saying, CJ, we have to be nice. We have to be nice to Republicans and Democrats, the voters, and the people that are just learning and waking up and saying, who is that libertarian out there on that corner telling that mayor to go blow himself? Why is he doing that? What's the bigger purpose? And, you know, why is that libertarian out there protesting or not protesting? Why is that libertarian out there trolling Trump rallies? Why is that libertarian out there making that content? Why is that libertarian out there in that Hawaiian shirt walking around with an AR-15? Why? Why is there a 17-year-old kid in Kenosha, Wisconsin playing medic? That's another thing. Again, I wanted more evidence. I wish Kenosha Kyle could click the link right now. I wish Adam Kokesh, Dick Liberty, I wish a lot of you guys could click the link right now and have this conversation. You know, Kenosha Kyle, it was a tough one. You know, there's still people on my Facebook feed right now that say that he's a murderer. There are still people on my Facebook feed right now that say he's innocent. I happen to fall on the, hey, if a 17-year-old is out there and armed, doesn't mean that he should be any less defended. Personally, I don't care. I break down the law. You know, I'm running for Senate here. I would like to think that I kind of know how to figure out what the laws are, at least what they say. I'd like to at least think I'd like to know how the function of government works. Yeah, I'd like to think. Fuck that. You can be just as effective without sucking off the emotional dicks of snowflakes. But the thing is, Dick, is that Trumpophiles can be snowflakes, pedocrats can be snowflakes, and yes, even some libertarians can be snowflakes. If I wasn't sitting in the airport waiting for a flight, I would jump on and get fired up. Someday, it's not over. Someday, Mr. Liberty, we will share the screen again, I'm sure. But it blows my mind because I can challenge anybody on this spinning ball in space or this flat taco, whatever you think it is. I watched a really great podcast called Tinfoil Hat. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Sam Tripoli, Xavier Guerrero, and Johnny Woodard put together some of the best content when it comes to conspiracy theories. As you guys can see, I'm a bit of a conspiracy theory guy myself. Kendall got me this awesome book of conspiracy theories, and it's my mecca to go on the Tinfoil Hat podcast. I want to so badly. I'm a patron of theirs. I've been since they opened it. Listen to almost every Daily Dose now while I'm driving, and every podcast they put up. But look, 9/11's in the conspiracy book, and it blows my mind how we can just be so dumb. How we can just sit there and go, all this. There are actual conspiracies that have been proven to be true. But this one thing. And you know why there's such things as conspiracies? Because since there's been conspiracies, there's been disinformation, and people that try to control the narrative because it belongs with the political agenda of their preferred party, and if it goes against their narrative. But you know what the Libertarian Party is? We're like that checks and balance system. We're that one that the one thing that libertarians have is that we can say to you, this side's right, that side's right. We can say to you, we agree with these guys over here, we disagree with you over there. And even within our own party, we disagree. But we always come to a consensus. We always come to that middle ground of we can still talk. Even if you're a left libertarian or a right libertarian, you're still first and foremost a libertarian. Yes, I have been some pretty epic scraps of conversations with some libertarians, both little L claimed, self-proclaimed little L libertarians, as I call them, little R, little D, Republicans and Democrats with commitment issues. You You want to know how I know I'm a libertarian? And I don't worry about the opinions of Democrats or Republicans or Trumpophiles or pedocrats, because I put my name on the ballot, libertarian. I will never run as a Republican. I will never run as a Democrat. I will never give my consent to this fucking system that is really one party pretending to be two, so they have unilateral control over you. Why would you give your consent to this? It blows my mind. They quote the founding fathers. This is what blows my mind the most. You Trumpophiles and pedocrats will quote George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, Teddy Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln. You'll quote all of these people that would be convicted felons. If they were alive today, they would have no views on Facebook. They would have no interest because they would be preaching a narrative counter to the current culture. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Teddy Roosevelt, Abraham fucking Lincoln, a Republican, would be a convicted felon if they lived in my state. They would be thrown in our cages, tried by our courts. They would be held accountable by our current administration and put in a situation where they were civil asset forfeitured, their property seized without proper substantive or procedural due process of law. And you worship them, while at the same time, under the current government, they would be convicted felons. They would be the ones that don't mind killing in the name of government. In fact, I make the argument that George Washington today would kill Donald Trump. That Thomas Jefferson wrote about the police state, the powers of government, and how to restrain them within a, now illegal document known as the Constitution. Teddy Roosevelt ran as a third-party candidate because he knew his parties were corrupt. Abraham Lincoln ran as a third party because he knew the two parties were corrupt. Granted, I'm sure Abraham Lincoln did not imagine that it would turn into the Trump administration and hear Trump quote him or use his name to perpetuate himself as somehow some good person. When under a Trump administration, Abraham Lincoln would be thrown in a cage and tried by our unconstitutional court system. And you Trumpophiles and pedocrats still, for some reason, still worship at the altar without knowing your history, by blindly listening to your viewed leaders who have thousands of views. Let it be known, thousands. If it didn't come from my favorite podcaster with thousands and millions of views, it's not the truth, CJ. You're a fucking idiot. Truth can come in all shapes and sizes with all different viewer counts. It's your responsibility to learn it. If Joe Jorgensen sent me this letter today and said, hey, CJ, I need you to follow this regurgitative talking points and say whatever I tell you to say, or we're going to crucify you at the altar of libertarianism, I would say, fuck you. So, let's see. Does it tell me, hey, CJ, this is my regurgitative narrative talking points that I need you to follow? I certify that I oppose the initiation of force. All right, this is a donation sheet. I make mine. But when you get this from the Libertarian Party, this is what separates us from you. I certify that I oppose the initiation of force to achieve political or social goals. That's the difference between me and a Trumpophile. I will not use force. I will not use the initiation of force. I will not initiate force just to get my political way. My name is Joe Jorgensen, and I'm running for Libertarians 2020 candidate, and I am Libertarian Party candidate for President of the United States. I want to talk to you about this moment that we are living in. And again, this is a nice. This is the Libertarian LNC that's doing this. Over 26 trillion in debt and 3 trillion annual deficit. And you guys are like, yeah, we're conservative government. Good thing we have a conservative president. Oh. And you all keep voting for it because you consent to it. And they don't care which team you play for as long as you play for one of their teams. It's like, I like to say it like this. There's Raw and SmackDown in the WWE, okay? If you're a wrestling fan. And politics and the two-party system is just as real as wrestling. Oh my gosh, they even gave me a bumper sticker. What? Oh, man. Man, this is a good day. This is a good day. I will be putting this on my Chevy Silverado. That is going on for sure. And of course, they got an envelope with me to put money in it and send it. If you don't think sending money by mail is legit, then send yourself $500. And you know what? Challenge accepted. I'm going to send myself $100 because I think that'll prove the point just as much as 5. But we'll see what happens. So there's a lot I've covered today. Like I said, I wanted to play catch up. I'm out in the cornfields of Meth, Dakota, hauling that corn. I do miss this a lot. I miss being able to sit here and reach out and talk to people and have discussions. Whoever listens, listens. It's never been about, oh my God, I better say the right thing and talk about the right stuff or else I'm not going to get views and then people are going to think I'm irrelevant and blah, blah, blah. But because the truth is that most of the people that you see out there today are irrelevant. Because we don't care. We have apathy. We let people like these fucksticks control our world. And then we just respond. Nope. Did I go blank? Oh, and look at that. All my viewers are gone. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah, clicked the wrong button, backed out. Oh, well. It's easy for people to dismiss conversation that goes against their worldview. It's challenging to listen to people. I don't agree. I only agree with this woman 91% of the time. There are 9% of topics in this world that I'd be like, Dr. Joe, with all due respect, ma'am, I fundamentally disagree with you. And guess what? I would do so respectfully and tactfully. But I'm not going to worship at the Church of Mama Joe. Because I listen, I will never meet Donald Trump in my lifetime. I'm a United States Marine Corps combat veteran, been to Iraq and Afghanistan. I'm a Purple Heart recipient. You hear my intro. I have a bachelor's degree in again, information technology, software engineering. And yes, it is beneficial to have something like that. I'm an executive producer for a show that I think is going to launch into the stratosphere in the next 365 days, especially when I get back to this and be able to take this to the next level. And I know how hard Adam and Jim and Marcus are working with me. And the content, yeah, you know, I think that we have something. But what blows my fucking mind is that we sit here day in and day out and we just let the government do it. We let it happen. Now listen, I am not advocating for, hey guys, we should probably use force and violence to stop this government. Read it again. Okay, let's see if I can get it to. There we go. I oppose the initiation of force to achieve political or social goals. So we can't initiate force. Now, my fellow libertarians, I make the argument that force has already been initiated upon us. Now what? I wait for Mama Joe's response. We didn't initiate the force and violence and coercion of government. We didn't initiate the violations of constitutional rights. We didn't initiate a debt that can never be repaid and a deficit that will never be brought under control. And we didn't cause the collapse of a dollar that's going to cause more death and destruction than COVID-19 ever could. You know why I get censored while I'm running for political office? It's not me. If you sat in my corn truck today and you watched how hard that we bust our ass out in the cornfield, and you watch how much work we put in at the end of the day, you wouldn't think it's me that's being censored. It's the content. I used to think personally, like, oh my God, they're attacking me personally. Like, no, they're attacking what I'm saying. So I just need to learn how to articulate it in a way that gets past what they're saying. In a way that I can't say. Yeah, I bet you half of you knew what word I was trying to insert there. But it'll throw me in Facebook jail. I don't worry about YouTube monetization because I know somebody like me has zero chance of ever being on a legitimately pushed, hey, CJ posted a YouTube video. He's got 40,000, 50,000, 250,000, a million subscribers. You look at what somebody like Tom McDonald, who I played in the beginning of this video, who, again, deserves every bit of the views he gets. He puts in the work, right? You look at somebody like him, and I encourage everybody to go and check him out, has 1.16 million subscribers. He puts in the work. As a result, 6.12 million views, 6 million views, 17 million views, 7.5, 8 million, 5.4 million. And that's only based off of a 1.16 million subscriber base. The reason why I played I'm Corny this morning, it's corn season. You put out a song saying I'm corny. And listen, man, I don't need the clout. I don't need the views, so I don't play your video. I just go, fuck, man, this is a good song. I want to start my day off, and I want to start your day off with that great song. I promote the work of somebody that I'm like, hey, man, great fucking work. Because it is work. It's work. Somebody like Dick Liberty, that's work. It takes time to develop, to travel, to grind and bust and develop a message. I'm 34. In a couple weeks here, I'll be 35. God willing, I get to live, another 35 years at least. And who knows, maybe someday I'll hit my stride. I'll get the views. I'll have the check mark. I'll be famous. And I'll get the ad revenue. And Google won't censor me. And YouTube will push my streaming content out. And someday I'll make it. Someday I'll have my own coffee brand. Who knows? I'd rather push Dick's coffee brand. Do you need a cup of Dick in the morning? I think we could all use a cup of Dick. I'd rather put a dick in my cup than this crap. I'd rather have Lindsay's dick in my cup. I think I'm taking it too far. But anyways, do you get my point though? At some point, it's not about views. It's not about left or right. It's about being honest, being brutally upfront and honest when it comes to politics. I watched somebody like Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino is a Trumpophile. He's a straight up Trumpophile. But I will listen to the man to hear what is going on. I listened to Miko. I listened to Outlaw. This Moosecraft is Aubrey. Somehow she got into my YouTube and started subscribing to Moosecraft. But of course, Adam and Joe Rogan. I listen to several people. I try to listen to spectrum of people in order to formulate my own opinion. Of course, I listen to Dick Liberty, but mainly through Facebook on that one. That's for the notifications. I have 125 different channels apparently that I subscribe to. Casey Hughes for music. Gotta have the South Park Boys. Eddie Bravo. I wish this guy would who needs to make a podcast just himself and stay consistent with it is Eddie freaking Bravo. I listen to some Terrence Pop sometimes. He's got some incredibly good comedy and humor. Although I don't know where he stands on opinions about me, I still think his work is excellent. I do listen to many different people that I can say, hey, I have a wide-ranging plethora of people to listen to. I'll be out, see you before the end of the year. All right, Mr. Liberty. Hopefully we can get you on before the end of 2020. Talk about this fucked up year. I will be back out of the cornfields, and I will be back. And once November is over, I will be back to the internet warlord. I will be going back to being that internet warlord, the I don't give a fuck warlord, the I'm going to tell you what I think straight to your fucking face warlord. The guy is that I'm going to say, hey, I am going to let it be known that this is what I think in a way that's going to, I think I'm going to make it nightly. I can't do this kind of feel in the morning, I can't. Let it be known, yes, let it be known that I'm going to do this. Yes, let it be known that after this screwed up election of 2020, and obviously, again, if you live in District 23, you can vote for me. I'm not telling you have to. Yes, most of you are Trumpophiles, and yes, I understand I live in one of the reddest Trumpophile areas in the country. There's still a dissenting vote that says, hey, you don't have to vote for this one-party system out here. I mean, you can put somebody in who's got a difference of an opinion and say, hey, I want some accountability. I want there to be a libertarian voice that represents me. You know what a wasted vote is? A wasted vote isn't for the libertarian president. A wasted vote is voting for somebody whose morals and values don't align with yours. And some of you are okay with sniffing kids and sexualizing children. And I make the argument that both of your worshipped leaders have done that. I mean, again, I put this out. If I'm so unknown, let it be known. If I am so unknown and so my message doesn't nobody cares. I still have viewers that reach out to me. CJ, I saw your last thing. I talked to you. Blah, blah, blah. I still know that my content is out there. But you would think at some point there'd be a Trumpophile that would be like, all right, I see that link. I'm going to go defend my boy. You'd see a pedocrat who'd be like, no, I'm going to go tell that libertarian why I'm voting for the kid sniffer. But they don't. And you know why I think that is? First and foremost, maybe they're doing something else. It's Saturday. I can't expect them to be like, CJ live on a Saturday. No. But I think they're afraid. I think it's fear. Fear of the truth. Because I'm going to confront you with this truth in a way that let it be known. Let it be known, G. Spread the word. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Or as Aubrey would say, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If they had original thought, they would click the link. Interesting. See, I don't try to listen. I will say what I agree with somebody. If Dick was like, "Hey, man, the sun is a big ball of gas and plasma burning in space," I'd be like, "Yeah, Dick, I agree with you." If he would be like, "Trump's the greatest president in the history of our lifetime," I'd be like, "I don't agree with you." But I'm not gonna sit there and go, "I'm gonna destroy your whole life." Or think you're irrelevant because you hold that opinion. And it means I'm gonna, when you tell me that the earth is round, I might go, "Oh, I don't know why you're so confident," but I might play devil's advocate. I might sit there and
Daddy, Dakota.
What?
On the couch.
Oh, she threw up?
Yeah.
Lovely. Let it be known. Let it be known. Fighting for peace is like fighting for virginity. Feed the fish. Yeah. No, man. I think they're floating on the top. It might be too late. Kendall's still in California, so she's doing her Monet Summit. Shampoo and conditioner. She'll be back on Sunday, though. So, I thought for sure I would have had at least one person. There was at least one person I was like, CJ, I will join you for coffee and a conversation. Oh, would you look at this? My boss just sent me. I'm not going chopping, not going to go today. Please bring number 8 tomorrow. Let's start at 7 a.m. Yes, sir. So, I've got a day off. I've got a day off. Isn't that sad? This is about as far as this arm goes. I went to Fargo on Tuesday for my comp and pen for the VA. And the nice lady, Jackie, yes, I'm going to remember your name because you're a nice lady. Yeah, we didn't get through all the testing on my arm. She said it would be cruel to do that kind of testing to my arm. So my arm has limited range of motion. I'll never get it to go like this again where, like I can like ninja with this one. No, I get it like right here. Like that's about as much angle as the guy gets, when I had my surgery. And yeah, Jackie was nice. She was nice. And she had jokes. She wore the mask and the shield, and I had to wear the mask. And yeah. No, thank you for your service, CJ. Yeah, I just lost full function of my arm for the rest of my life. Yeah, no, but don't worry, 2%, no, 10% from the VA. Your arm will never function normal. You'll never be able to do a push-up or have full strength again. You'll never be able to do any of these things for the rest of your life. And in fact, you have the arthritis of an 80-year-old man. 10%. Good luck surviving in the world with one arm. Thanks for your service, buddy. Hope you can steer that 35,000 pounds of corn while shifting with one good arm. I have to laugh to keep from crying. Yeah. I'm a strong man. I can get through some bullshit, but I refuse to lose to this shit. I'm gonna put on a positive attitude. I've been through shit in my life. Shit, how many days has it been since I've seen my daughter Rory? That's still going on. Don't get me wrong. There's still an extortion amount I could pay. CJ, if you pay us $50,000, you can see your daughter again. You can buy the best attorney in the world. Yeah, crazy world we're living in. So, I've rambled off a lot. There is somebody backstage. Good morning, Mercedes. Would you like to join me today? I have the off day today. I mean, I'll leave it to you. Give me a thumbs up and you'll go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, running for Nebraska Senate, Mercedes Damartowski. How are you today, ma'am?
I woke up at 3 in the morning and watched a documentary about a man and a wild octopus, and then went back to sleep about 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good morning.
I mean, that's one way to have a morning.
I meant to get on earlier because I knew you were gonna pop on today, but I was sleeping.
Oh, no. See, that's where I try to tell people, like, I'm not one of these people that I know people have lives. I know
We have lives.
Yeah, like you have things you're doing where you're not worried about what I'm doing. Like it's
A little bit, actually.
well, you can be worried in certain parts, I'm sure,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, like your arm. Sorry about your rotator cuff.
no, it's not rotator
Oh,
cuff.
it's not.
It's
Just your arm.
It's just my arm. Yeah, it's jacked for the rest of my life.
I have a couple of those.
Yeah, but I mean, I wish I could do like push-ups. If I could, then I would be doing push-ups to make awareness for veteran suicide.
Yeah, because that'll save a lot of people.
Yeah. No, I've asked the question. In fact, I challenge anybody out there to if you've had a veteran come up and go, I was gonna kill myself until I saw you doing push-ups, and then I decided that my life was worth living.
I'm glad.
Send.
Thank you, CJ. I'm glad your life is worth living.
Well, no, I preface this with
Preface?
if I preface this with if doing 22 push-ups a day saves your life, then do 22 push-ups a day.
There you go.
But
So-
don't virtue signal to me that doing push-ups is saving lives. But yeah, Mercedes, I'm gonna grab another cup of coffee. What do you got this morning?
Well, I met a real-life Trump supporter last weekend. And by met, I mean he's one of my, what I call my vet, one of my vets. He's one of my friends from high school who went to war and came back. And so he messaged me last week and was like, hey, do you ever leave the house anymore? Because I get teased a lot for never leaving the house, ever, because I never leave the house anyway, before this. And he's like, so yeah, you want to come have a drink with me and my coworkers? And I haven't seen him since before the pandemic. I'm like, I technically am not supposed to leave the house yet because I'm not far enough away from that test. He's like, I don't give a fuck if you have COVID. Come out and drink with us. I'm like, okay. If it's your choice, if you aren't afraid and I want to come drink, then...
Wait. Dare I say that COVID is going to become the new herpes?
It is the new herpes. Are you fucking kidding me? Everybody has it.
It's
Everybody has it. I don't have it.
it's the new herpes in the world to say, hey, do you have COVID? I honestly, I mean, so Mercedes, you're gonna love this. Okay, so Kendall's sister tested positive for COVID-19.
Oh.
And that's 100 feet that way. She lives right next door to me.
Yeah.
She's surviving. They're quarantined in there. They're not going. The whole family's gotta wait for the whole family to get herd immunity, and then
We did the same thing.
yeah. So eventually, it's like my COVIDs or your COVIDs when one of us gets it. So I mean, it truly is. COVID is the new herpes. And
I feel like I'm back in the 90s where your mom takes you to your friend's house because they're sick. And then you get sick, as class, and then the whole class doesn't get it again because they did that with chickenpox. I got chickenpox because my cousins had chickenpox.
Do you know what?
Get chickenpox.
I have somebody that I work with. Great guy. He's a closet Republican, registered Democrat.
Oh.
Interesting, and will never vote for a libertarian. Yeah.
So just one side to the other, just straddle.
Yeah, just it's either blue or red, but I mean it's red, but he's voted registered blue and always has been. I love the guy, great guy. I'm not saying anything negative about him. I'm just, to me, I said herd immunity. We were driving from the field, and I said I'm all about herd immunity. The only people that are dying are people over the age of like 60 and a few miters with pre-existing health conditions. So let's just roll the dice, open it all back up, and I'm team herd immunity. Well, the old people will die. Well, I hope you enjoyed your time on the planet, made good life choices that you can be healthy in your older age to survive this pandemic. But the ones that can survive COVID will inherit the earth.
Part of the reason why I think everybody's freaking out about it, one, because it is a new scary virus and we didn't know a lot about it.
I'm just gonna
read it out loud.
I'm just gonna leave that one there just because it just encapsulate that.
Needs to be there. So I don't remember what we were talking about. Fuck it.
It's a real thing. Like, yeah, you were saying it's a real thing.
It is a real thing. It's super scary to the old people, and that's who rules the world right now.
Well, again, it's super scary to people Trump, Biden, Pence's age.
Hold on. I have to yell at the animals.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. It's scary for people that are, in that health situation where they could die. But if you are a relatively healthy person, young, vibrant, and full of spunk, piss, and vinegar, the odds of you being impacted by this are slim to none.
I have asthma, and I will say my lungs suck more now than they did, but I didn't die.
So let me tell you where my life has been impacted the most, Mercedes. Yesterday, I called up 6 o'clock in the morning. 6:30 in the morning-ish, roughly, like 6:25. I called up to the local gas station here. It's also a little restaurant. They make food, breakfast, you name it.
Is that where the coffee guys meet?
Yeah, the coffee guys meet there. All the Trumpophile circle jerks, that's where they go. And good morning, Craig. I call up and I go, hey, I'm tired of eating these bread, cheese, and meat mayo sandwiches for lunch. I want a sub. I want to put a sub in my belly for lunch, and while I'm out there in the cornfield. And so I call up, ring, and I'm like, hey, can I get a sub this morning? I'll be there in about 15 minutes to pick it up. And she goes, I can't make you a sandwich. My machine is broke. I've lived here, 4+ years now, and I've called in the morning, gotten a sandwich made, picked it up on my way to work, no big deal. What machine is required for you to use to make me a sandwich? Do you know of any machine? I don't...
Only if they're slicing the meats.
Then they're not. So I walk in there, I say, okay, and I hang up the phone. I drive there because I had to go there anyways. I had to pick up some stuff for the cornfield. I have some snacks or drinks or whatever. I pick up a breakfast sandwich or whatever. So I walk in and I say, so what machine is broken that requires you to make a sandwich? Well, my coffee maker's broke. And I was sitting there like, what is going on? This is a joke, right? You can't make me. But meanwhile, she's cooking breakfast for somebody else. And so what's it about it? So then I say, okay, well, this is a fucking joke. And she said, well, if you want a sandwich, you need to find me more employees. Yeah. this is where COVID has impacted my area. That they had to shut it
People aren't
down.
working.
They're getting sick. The owner has to take over. People are leaving. And I don't get a sandwich. And I know this is so first world.
That's true, but that's it. Okay, so I'm not saying having it doesn't mean that you can go to work though. That's the problem though, because when you get it, you are sick. But like, it's not like la di da. I'm fine. You do get sick, but that sucks. And that's why
Thanks, COVID.
That's why I've been so loud in rural areas, because we can't afford to get sick. Like we never can afford to get sick. When the flu season comes through, we avoid people that are sick. Like we don't, in rural communities who are ag based, if we get sick, that means that we still have to go to work no matter what, even if we are sick, first of all. Second of all, though, it means that our rural towns that are getting sick can't function because there's not enough bodies, and then they're giving it to the farmers that shouldn't be getting sick anyway. So like, it's not scary, it's not deadly-ish, but it does take you out for a couple weeks, and in those couple weeks in rural areas, that's make or break for a lot of businesses.
I'm
Like, this whole thing is a fucking shit show.
Well, here's the problem though, Mercedes, is that it's all a lie. It's all a lie. I'm not saying that it's not real, or you didn't have it, or my sister-in-law doesn't have it, and the whole family next door doesn't have it. I'm just saying that 7 out of 7 people in that house are going to survive.
Possibly.
No,
Only hope.
guaranteed. They're on like their last day of quarantine or something today.
Yeah, then they're fine.
Yeah. So my point being it's like, okay, well, so they got it. Now what? Okay, well, they're getting a 14-day. The CDC can call up and say, all right, you've got 3 more days. So.
They definitely only called me once.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, but the point being that these, we, like Adam covered yesterday, they know that there's always going to be a perpetual population that's going to have this. It's in the human petri dish of disease now.
So, see, this is what happened. At the beginning, we had all of these informations because at that time, they were trying to do control. Don't let it get into the general population, maybe try to stop the spread. But they didn't actually want that to happen, though, because they're like, wait a minute, we can use this, and they're all going to stay home. Because if you can't roll with love, you roll with fear.
Wait a minute. They're all about to find out we're an elite pedophile cabal that controls the world and the monetary system. And we can make them shut up, stay in their homes, and put on masks, and then we can hide amongst them with masks.
Okay, but here's what I'm saying now is the communities that did that willingly now have a super, super aggressive police state, and the people like South Dakota and Nebraska and other Midwestern states that did never actually like hard shut down are relatively still have the same level of freedom we had before the pandemic.
I just can't get a sandwich in the morning is what I'm trying to say. That is what the impact statement is for me. I can't get a sandwich because they don't have employees to make the sandwich.
Oh, I have dreams about Q-tips going up my nose now, so sorry.
Well, see, different nightmares for different folks. So,
do you need me to mail you some sandwiches, CJ?
No, my sandwich maker will be back on Sunday.
So she didn't have a coffee maker or a sandwich maker or anything? Just her?
No, she was a breakfast maker that day. But, I mean...
There's so many misogynistic jokes I could throw at this.
I didn't mean that by Kendall. I meant I'm sure Kyle's going back to work and she gets paid. Like, I pay her. Like, I pay the store a wage and a tip. I even tip good when they make me yummy food. Like, I wasn't implying that Kendall is my sandwich maker. Although she will wake up in the morning. She'll make my coffee. She'll make me a sandwich for lunch and pack my lunchbox up with all the goodies and things for the day.
I came down here without my coffee.
You did. It's a sin for coffee in a conversation.
Oh, it's sitting upstairs.
Mercedes, I have all day, so you can get coffee if you want.
Do you have another guest backstage? Did anybody else?
I don't, Mercedes. I'm not popular.
Yeah, you are. I wanted to tell you about my Trump story before I went upstairs to get my coffee.
You have all the time in the world, Mercedes.
So I went out with my Trump friend and his friends, and we go to my bar that I call my breakup bar. It's my favorite bar to go to when I'm sad, because the bartender is my bar dad, because he has worked there for the entire time of all of my 20s.
Okay.
Like, he's my bar dad. And
Okay.
so when, before I met my husband, if I dumped a boy, I didn't ever really get dumped. I'd go to the bar and drink about it and cry, because that's what you do. And
Wait. Okay, hold on.
What?
So you would break up with somebody,
Yes.
and then
Normally-
you would proceed to then go to this bar
And cry about it.
and cry.
Because the reason okay, so I have really bad taste in men. Full stop. Hi, Nemesis. Oh, that's Rooster. My husband's the best man I've ever met in my entire existence. I really lucked out there. So because I find really shitty drug addicted redneck men, you got to go through that period of time where you're dating and everything's beautiful. You know, the honeymoon stage.
Mhm.
And then they like make a rape joke, or you find out that they've dated a 16-year-old in the past, or any reason to dump a guy that you were into that you might be sad over, because you break, like, because there's a line, you just done, and then they were kind of cool, you kind of liked them until you found out that they lived with their mom. Like, it's okay.
No, I hear you in that aspect. Like, if, like, I imagine being like, okay, I put myself in the father position here, the bar dad. Well, why'd you break up with him today? Well, he was 29 dating a 15-year-old.
Yeah, we should go.
I probably think he's better off without his head than being
Yeah.
with me.
Actually, though, those people in our community are on the list, so those are avoidable very easily. Thank you.
Yeah. You ever gone to watchdog.com and find out how many pedophiles live in your town?
Yeah, our county puts them up on the website themselves.
Right. So, see, my town has 0. Which
That's
is
nice.
which is great, because if they pop up, we get a ding
Yeah,
in live time.
yeah, I know. So do we.
So-
But I live by a school, so there are no pedophiles within, like, a long ways.
That is one benefit to living by a school.
Mhm.
But
Ain't
yeah.
no pedophiles here.
Hey, let me ask you, Mercedes. We had one that got accused. He lived in this house. Yeah, coincidentally.
Ew.
And he was doing some pretty nasty things to his stepdaughter. And when they found out, he took a vehicle down the road and purposely crashed it into a semi truck while being chased by police.
Did he die, though?
Yes.
Damn.
So pretty sick fuck. Do you really feel sad that he's gone? No. The other guy that was registered here, we had one when I moved here. So the one that lived here prior killed himself by running into a semi truck, obviously taking a coward's way out.
Yeah.
The other one lived down by the gas station, froze to death in Aberdeen during the winter because he couldn't get a home. Do you really feel bad? No, I don't really feel bad.
The mercy side of me kind of feels bad because nobody should freeze to death, but at the same time, freezing to death is relatively painless. So he should have had something else. It was too easy.
This is why I'm part of Guillotine Caucus.
Same.
I mean, I just think that there's better solutions.
I can't advocate for the killing of people out loud, but that doesn't mean I have to disagree with it.
No.
I can't see it.
It says, I certify that I will not,
Violate the enemy.
I oppose the initiation of force. I don't know why it's not working for me. This is what we covered this morning. I certify that I oppose the initiation of force to achieve political or social goals.
Yeah, that's yeah. Just
But I make the argument that they've already initiated force.
That is true. They violated somebody else's rights by not getting consent, because consent. But back to my Trump story.
By the way, I signed that. So
And lifetime even, thanks. So I'm at the bar with my Trumpophile friend, who is a vet.
trademark.
Right. But this is the best part. The reason why he's a vet is because he was in the military and he was smoking weed to deal with his PTSD that I got. And of course he peed dirty, so they kicked him out.
Oh, you used to have to stare at wieners in order to do those tests. It's terrible. Yeah, I'm having my own PTSD. I might need to smoke something.
P-test PTSD.
Yeah, right. Like I have that P-test PTSD. I can see all the dawns of everybody in my battalion, and I'm like, man, that's a schlong that I've never seen before. Like, oh, dude, I know why you joined the Marine Corps. Yeah, okay.
So he gets his 3rd strike. They gave him 3 strikes.
Wow, we gave him 0 strikes.
Yeah, no, he had chances because he's a mechanic and he was good at what he did and he was working on the helicopters and stuff. Like he was good at what he did.
You can't. Okay, listen. I'm sorry, buddy. You got to admit, you can't be doing helicopter work while
smoking weed. I know.
But listen. Not that I say that we shouldn't have it be completely legal, or that again that he shouldn't be able to use like a CBD, or that these are all nuanced war on drug bullshit laws that are being implemented. But where I find it amazing is like, for example, they'll let you get drunk as a fucking skunk. You know, as long as you don't become a victim, of course. But you know, it's amazing to me how libertarian the military actually is, minus the war part. Because if you go to the barracks on a Friday night, besides the fact that all of these Marines are trained to kill people and trained to go to war.
Do a lot of acid?
Well, okay, let me tell you a story from when I was in Afghanistan. When we got to Afghanistan, we were at Camp Bastion. It was before Camp Leatherneck, and Camp Leatherneck was this massive construction project building a massive military base out in the desert. Camp Bastion was the British base that they just set up, and they let other, NATO forces come in. And we would travel out to different COPs, different places, different little outposts that we had in the area, and we'd go from A to B looking for the bombs and transporting cargo and all this dumb shit. We're transporting, people and other vehicles. Well, we found out at one place that they had locked up a whole group and platoon of Marines because they figured out that opium, heroin, is just prevalent all over, and they figured out how to do this, and everybody was doing it. But keep in mind, these were Marines that they were pulling triggers. They were the ones that were in some battles. They were some ones that were like, well, when in Afghanistan,
right, fuck it.
And they actually shut down the call center. They would not let anybody call in or out. And come to find out, it was because those Marines had taken heroin and opium or whatever from the poppy plant, and figured out how to use it. And they took away the phone privileges and internet access of everybody. And you go internet access in a war zone, yeah. There was places where you could go. I knew there were. You could spend 15, 20 minutes on the internet, but you know what it was? Just a massive data collecting system. I mean, that's all it was. It was the government spying on its own troops in order
mean that I have
to gather intel.
I was dating a boy when I was 18 that was in that area, and he would email me, and I don't have certain emails that I made sure to save specifically because he was there. Mm-hmm. Weird!
Yeah, it's almost crazy
It's almost like they told me to stop asking questions.
It's almost.
This is Nemesis. Look at how big.
Yeah, I see the puppy there. Those are some. Oh, look at those eyes. That's a cute little. Yeah, Nemesis looks so cute.
Yeah, she's Spike's favorite.
I don't know. Daisy's kind of just being lazy over here.
Lazy Daisy.
Oh.
At least you're wearing pants.
Oh yeah, no. I of course I wear pants.
So.
I haven't lost all of my faculties, Mercedes.
Facilities?
My facilities. While I preface this next statement.
That I got to look at my Trump supporter friend in the face as he's going off about America and Trump and loving it and all this stuff. But then I've told everybody we've been protesting. I flipped my flag upside down. I pissed off all the rednecks in the area. I knew what I was doing. He didn't know that I'm the one who started it. So he started bitching about the protests and what he wanted to do, he wanted to do to us. And I didn't interrupt him. I just let him get it all out. He's telling me exactly how he feels. So then he's getting real worked up. I look at him and I go, "Hey, Chase." He looks at me and goes, "What?" I say, "I'm the one who started that protest with my flag." And you know what he did? Changed the subject.
Yeah, how about that Bears, huh? Like, where do you go? Where do you go from that? I mean, it's almost like it's this is that divided America, Mercedes. This is
And that's well, actually, I told him. I looked at him because he was mad. I said, "I started that," and then he started yelling. I said, "I love you," because he just was being mean. I just said, "I love you," and done.
So
And I told him who it was.
So you're using that love will conquer hate. And like, listen, the enemy of my enemy is not my enemy.
And
no,
so
it's
then
not, the enemy of my enemy is not my enemy.
but then I looked at it because he stopped and he cooled down. He changed the subject, and I looked at it and I said, "I'm doing this because you got kicked out of the military for trying to medicate the way you wanted to because you had PTSD because they broke you, and I had to watch it happen. So fuck you." And then he got drunk and fell into my car. I ended up being on babysitting duty because he's weird like me when he gets drunk. He didn't go over to the sandbox and break his mind mean. He came back even weirder.
Is it really babysitting, I mean, honestly, or is it looking out for somebody you care about?
Both.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could call it. I mean, yeah.
Well, his friends ditched him with me because I've known him forever. So one, he has really shitty friends. Honestly, he's got really shitty friends.
Dang, throwing his friends under the bus.
They threw him. They're like, "Hey, bye. You're gonna take care of him," and walked off. I'm like, you brought him and you want to leave him in town tonight because you don't want to deal with him.
Shitty friends.
The fucking shitty friends. So he got drunk, beat him in pool. He didn't talk about Trump again. It was beautiful.
But now the other megatards are going to hear that and go, "How did you not blow Trump 24/7? Like, why didn't you speak about Orange Messiah the way Orange Messiah?" And listen, I'm not trying to Orange Man bad. I'm saying at some point the politic of things, listen, do you think that he's been duped into voting for Trump like everybody else with the mentality of, if I don't vote for this pedophile, that pedophile is going to win? Or do you think that he actually legitimately votes for Donald Trump because he believes the message?
He's been on the Trump train hard.
No, listen.
No, he believes in Donald Trump. He thinks Donald Trump is the greatest man on earth.
Mercedes, somebody told me when I first got in here, I had a video that went viral. It had, I think, like almost 10 million views. It was on a website called cyberspaceandtime.com. And it was why I'm voting for Republican instead of Democrat in 2016. And I go, if I would have went to either side of the political spectrum, if it would have been a Trump sign right here instead of Jorgensen, the views would go up. I'm sure I'd get donations. If I started gagging on Donald Trump's wang to get political, talking point attaboys, and I would make more money. I mean, our former chairman of this party in South Dakota, I'm on the XCOM now, elected position on the board for the Libertarian Party of South Dakota. Our previous chairman is now a registered Republican running for office as a Republican because you get in line because that's where the money is. And I can tell you from without a shadow of a doubt, people came to me and said, "CJ, you need to be careful because you're at that point where if you go one way or the other, it's going to affect and you could be a voice over here and people will try to use you over there and this and that." I said, "Fuck you. I'm me. I'm going to vote for who I want. I don't care about your fucking narratives. I'm not going to sit here and watch this person and then regurgitate the fucking line because it's the cool thing to do. No, I'm going to vote for that person because she doesn't tell me what I have to say. I can advocate for her in my own way. And again, I would make more money if Adam was a Trumpophile. if he would have just stayed in the Trumpophile party and ran as a Republican, and I mean, he might have been elected by now. But at some point, principles matter. At some point, we have to say, hey, I'm not this. I mean, I've got this. It's a bronze membership for the Libertarian Party. It's got the date wrong. I already said this morning I'm calling Joe Bishop henchman saying, why are there clerical errors on my card?
Because you, point of order.
Okay, dilatory, but go ahead.
No, that's just what I mean is everybody knows who you are from the convention, CJ.
Well, okay, I'm Libertarian Convention famous. Which is almost like saying I am like the special kid at a
You're
I'm
almost a celebritarian.
I'm almost a celebritarian. I would say by 2022, people will fear me being there if I don't agree with them. I'm sure. I had a few people that I wanted to make it clear I'm just as much a human as you. I get diarrhea like you.
Human.
I am a human. Believe it or not, I'm not a lizard person. I stutter. I have an eye issue that my eye will twitch and then my eyes will droop down, and I'm just as stupid as the next person and can be. I'm not special.
I mean, that's debatable.
But again, no. I'm okay. I'm retarded, but But again, my point being that I'm not owned by anybody. You can tell when real recognize real when I go, hey, if you want, do you honestly think I'm owned by anybody? There's somebody honestly that wakes me up, bring CJ, you better make sure you deep throat that presidential dick real quick, real good, or you better be supporting Biden on this. No, there's nobody. That's what freedom is in politics, to know. How many of your Republican friends try to convince you, Mercedes, that their narrative is right? How many of
them?
All of them, right? Because you are now what? The judge. Yeah. You're the judge. They have to convince you that the narrative they're saying is the correct one, so they can go, see, even the libertarian agrees with me.
And then I counter them with libertarian views and ideals, and then they go, oh my God, you want more freedom than us. And I go, yeah, I do.
What do you feel about recreational nuclear warheads? Why doesn't your presidential candidate want machine guns?
I really want a bazooka.
Mercedes, if I was elected president of the United States, you would be able to order a bazooka on Amazon with reloads and everything, delivered as fast as you can afford.
Amazon sucks right now. The delivery times are terrible.
Yes, AdamVersusTheMan.com does have a faster fulfillment time than
Still waiting on the panties.
But thanks COVID-19 and government irresponsible reaction to it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So where do we go from here, Mercedes? I mean, obviously, I'm going to go back to the cornfield. We got how many days left until?
I don't know.
I do know how to find out how many days there are left before there.
My web guy.
Well, your web guy is still did a pretty good job there.
He did a great job. Oh my God. I haven't seen this countdown in 10 days.
So are you telling me that you're like me, only checking the countdown when you go to your website? In 51 days, Mercedes, we are free from running.
I remember what I was going to tell you. Okay, so here's a fun story that is still on the Trump story that I'm having a hard time. So here's the end of the story. So at my breakup bar, I go outside to have a ciggy poo because I smoke cigarettes when I go to the bar, even though it's bad for me. And there's a guy out there, and I've waited on him before as a server. I've seen him before. I don't know his name because I'm horrible at names, but he asked me how I am because server, and we're talking, and he just launches on this rant about my opponent because they're friends, and he just launches off. He's horrible. He did this in his first term, and I don't agree with it. And I told him yesterday I'm voting for the other guy that's running him against him because I don't freaking like him, and just on and on and on. And then he stops and he looks at me and goes, so what office are you running for? And I look at it, I go, I'm running against your friend John Lowe. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to vote for you. I'm like, yeah, you just told me, and you didn't know that I'm that person that you are. Told him. So now I know why he's so scared, because all his friends are telling him they're not going to vote for him. All of his friends.
If I was living in Nebraska and I was living in your district,
Yes.
and I was listening to this conversation, first
Yes.
off, I would be saying, why doesn't my guy want as much freedom as she wants?
Yes.
Why is she advocating for more freedom than the party I'm voting for?
Yep.
Then I would start to question.
This
So,
is- yeah.
yeah.
I didn't believe that he was afraid and thought that I was going to win, because I'm just this little girl, nobody. And
You're just a nobody.
just
I
a
mean,
nobody.
a
And
bunch of nobody's running as. I mean,
we don't need to worry about that girl. She's a nobody.
yeah. Until you realize that girl's got a lot of pull.
And that you pissed off all your friends thinking that they would just vote for you because you just vote for everybody else that tells you to. Like, so yeah. I'm
Well,
gonna go get coffee.
Mercedes, go grab some coffee real quick. I'm going to do a quick weather report here from the great state of Meth, Dakota. Let's see if, like I said, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to go. That's what the boss is saying. So I get a day off of work here. Yeah, we're working up in this area. And I knew it was circling around.
In a second, I'm working.
Yeah, I'm working. This isn't work, Mercedes. This is not work. Don't think this is work. This isn't work. This is a conversation between two people, two humans.
This is work.
This isn't. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
You can take this later and edit it and make clips for political purposes. It's work.
Okay, you could take this, make clips,
Yeah.
and do what you want to do with
Yeah,
it.
I know. It's
But
work.
I've already said this. I will never be that person that goes and says, I need this clip from that video to be uploaded to all my platforms and it's going to go viral. I will never be that guy. I can't be.
Mostly, though, it's because Mackie fell asleep on the couch next to Cora while there was a bag of Doritos that was open, and she dumped it all over the couch.
Oh, I
ran away.
love having kids.
And I ran away because he fell asleep while she had an open bag of Doritos.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sure I'm dad of the year. Aubrey's already gotten into the cotton candy this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bought him some cotton candy, and of course they found it.
Yeah, we do like yogurt and stuff in the morning, and like she has her Pediasure sippy cup, but then we give her snackies, and yeah.
Let's see what Nebraska looks like today.
For weather, it's actually
Yeah.
very nice. It-
Yeah, you guys got nothing. Nothing.
It's been cloudy and rainy all
So-
week.
So where are you running at?
Do you see the town called Kearney?
Kearney.
Down to the
Kearney,
right.
Kearney,
There,
Kearney.
up, wait, up, go up.
Kearney.
Up, there.
Bye.
Bye. I love you.
Have a good day.
Yes, there's Watcher.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Close the door, Matthew.
Wait! So yeah, I'm in Kearney. It's in the south central part of the state.
In the child sex trafficking capital of Nebraska, apparently.
No, that would be Lexington, North Platte, and Grand Island around me.
Okay, wait.
Grand Island, York, all along the I-80 corridor.
Okay, so
Grand
basically,
Island is the worst.
so you're telling me that
Where are
the
you?
80
Oh, there you are.
here.
Yeah, so all the way over down to Wood River. So, okay, so up from Wood River where your arrow is Grand Island. That's it down there. That's a hot spot. And then York over is a hot spot. And then Kearney is a hot spot. So, and the I-80 starts following the Platte River there too. And that's
Yeah.
also the old Oregon Trail. So then like Elm Creek, Odessa. Elm Creek is where the strip club is.
No, just in case you're wondering.
Yeah, Cozad. North Platte's a big one.
And that is
Maxwell.
so that's like the sex traffic highway.
Yeah.
So basically, that's where
Like,
all
I
the-
don't. Locals don't, like, not all locals, but all the locals I know, we don't stop on the interstate to pee at the rest stops anymore unless we absolutely have to. And we, like, use the buddy system everywhere if we are able to. And it's just been. I mean, we had a kidnapping back in the 90s, early thousands. Her name's Ann Sluty. Like, the whole. Like, she got abducted from the mall parking lot.
Yeah, my mom had a friend back in the day that was abducted at the mall parking lot and later found dead.
They found her
It's a
alive.
real thing. It's a real thing.
It's, I mean, we share social media here all the time. Moms do with each other that people are following them around in Targets and stuff and try to abduct them when they're outside with their kids. It's bad here.
Yeah. You know what really blows my mind is how disconnected we are in the world, but yet when we're like all connected like this and we can
Yeah.
look at the world and go, I can see the weather in your area.
It's not flat either.
Like, oh man. And you
What's
look
going
at
on in the Middle East?
yeah, I mean that's kind of what is going on. in
Oh,
the
it's a
Middle East.
beautiful, clear day. I wonder how many people are terrified right now.
But you know why we're in Iraq and Afghanistan and we're patrolling all of this? Because eventually we're going to go into this area.
Yeah. So, we already went in there, though.
Yeah. I've been to Al Qaim before, Haditha, Hit. Yeah, I've been to this city and this city and that city and this. Basically, when I was in Iraq, this is where I was.
So, is it super desert and rocky there, too?
Yeah, and then this is where this was the road that gave us the most trouble. We used to follow a road that was this one right here that goes around.
The river.
We used to patrol all of this area.
So, that river, does it go through
This is
like
the
a valley?
Syrian border. Yeah, kinda ish in some areas.
So, really easy for ambushes.
Yeah, this is the alien head and the shark fin. This is the road that a lot of our vehicles got hit on.
That makes me sad.
And we patrolled this whole area down here to Rutba. And yeah, I mean, the base is kind of, well, I guess they call it an air base now. But yeah, the Al Assad Air Base is where I was at and stationed at in Iraq.
Airbase.
Yeah, they turned it into an air base. And then over in Afghanistan, Kandahar. And then, right
I
up
don't
in
even
here.
know where Jake died.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have died in here. But yeah, the thing that they say is that, you're more likely to be killed on the streets of America by a law enforcement officer than if you were a military member going to either one of those war zones.
Speaking of that conversation, I've had a good conversation with a military person about that. It was probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and I was waiting tables, and he was one of those respect my authority, say thank you that I went over and fought for your freedoms in a different country. And this was the time, it had been about 6 years ago, and this was when I was starting to get lippy back at service members who told me to grovel and kiss their asses for fighting in another country.
God damn it, thank me for my service, Mercedes.
Yeah. So I was like, what freedoms of mine were you fighting for over there? Like, what? And he's like, I'm like, really? Because while you were over fighting in Desert Storm, and while we weren't supposed to be over there fighting, I was home being abused and having the system miss me. Why weren't you here fighting for me and other kids like me?
Because they send the military overseas so they don't have to worry about what we're doing over here.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. But I
Yeah,
broke that man's brain. I broke his brain.
I again, admittedly, and
Up there.
I know.
we
Say
can
hi
wrap
to
this.
CJ. Well,
Hey,
yeah, I
man.
was gonna.
Dude, move.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. We can wrap this up though, Mercedes. I got a full day off. It's been a minute, but let you get back.
Yeah, I have to go be. Hey, Matthew's getting his hair done today, and
Oh.
at 10:30, so I have to go.
All right. Well, Mercedes, it's always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me on and
Next
letting me.
Next time we'll have more time, I'm sure.
I'll probably.
Thanks for letting me have a conversation with your wife,
No
Matt.
problem.
He's a great person. Appreciate the time.
He's just walked away. He doesn't even care. He's so excited to go get in the salon.
I'll never understand redneck royalty.
I don't understand redneck royalty.
And you're married to it.
I know. It's because I'm not redneck.
All right, Mercedes, anything else before you go?
Only that we all deserve equality before the law, so we can have the good life for all, y'all.
All right, Mercedes. We'll see you next time.
See you later.
All right. Well, now I'm all bored. Now what? All right. So with that being said, I guess it's been fun. As always, I'm CJ, the Internet Warlord. I will see you guys next time. Have a good day or don't. The choice is always yours.
Welcome to Coffee and a Conversation hosted by CJ Abernathy.